Hello creatures from the internet world. So I'm making video. I know there's a way to make proper videos, but I don't know the way and I don't have time for it and I don't have the resources, frankly. And I'm making videos as I can, when I can, and how I can. So this is it. Today I'm gonna talk about gut microbioma and what we did with it, what happened to us. And my questions are, well, for everyone on the expert side, and for those who are not the experts but have their own experience with the gut microbioma and autism, because I don't think they're watching it the proper way. I do think I think that when you, well, this is what happened, this is my experience and this is the experience of many people that I know, that when you take the child with autism to the doctor, and you mention that they have, well, my child has gut issues, the answer is just like, yeah, they have that. Like the autism is the cause of him having issues with his gut, and I don't think that's a good perception of it. I think it's the other way around. I think the autism symptoms are the consequence of, among other things, gut microbioma being destroyed or not properly developed. Now, I'm a Google mom, I'm stupid, I'm crazy conspiracy theorist, I have no idea what am I talking about. So this is why I'm making the videos, because I need somebody to explain it to me. What am I getting wrong? And how come I'm getting it wrong, but we did something right? And so I'm going to tell you what actually happened to us, to my son, and I'm going to tell you about my thesis on it. To those who, well, YouTube is not letting me say everything out loud. So for those of you who want to know everything about it, I have a Rumble channel. I'm going to put it in the description box. And I have a Patreon channel, and everything is for free. So I'm not selling you anything. I don't want to sell you anything. All I want to do is get to the bottom of this, and I want to know the truth. And that's all that I actually want. So this is what happened. My son is now 16 years old. And now we are at the point where he communicates in 2 languages. For those who watched previous videos know that. I'm gonna put a short conversation with him in this video too. He agreed to it. And I can send him shopping now. And when he was 3 years old, I couldn't even dress him, because he was running 22 hours a day and he was sleeping 2 hours a day, and the rest was just screaming, running, and not giving a damn what I want, not giving a damn about anything dangerous, you know what I'm talking about, right? You know when you are so tired that you don't know if you haven't slept for so long that you don't even know if this is reality or not, you know. So first thing is that I have to mention is that up until age 10 he was never sick. So I know that there's a lot of children that are constantly sick, and I think that they have different issue than my son, but the same at the same time, because it's the immunity issue. And his immunity was, he just wasn't sick. And when I say at all, I mean at all. So never for 10 years, not even child diseases, nothing, not virus, not one fever, nothing. And at the same time, he had, so you know, the usual, couldn't eat. We had like 2 or 3 meals that we were just circling, you know. And his poop was rock hard. So it was like a goat would poop those little. There they are. There's the poop. No, he was pooping rock hard marbles once in a week or once in 2 weeks. And whenever I would take him to the doctor, they were like, yeah, 95% of children with autism have that. So it's like, that's it, deal with it. And I wonder why. I was always asking myself, why isn't this like a big issue? Why aren't they sending us to see a gastroenterologist? So I thought that would be like, did anyone send you? When you take the child to be assessed, did anyone tell you, oh, let's check he's got microbioma. Let's see what is there any issues with that, because the gut is like second brain, and that's just like commonly known that we have these big heads, and we are, if you have bacteria overgrowth like candida, you will have brain fog, you will not be able to concentrate, you will not be able to speak properly, and it will ask you to eat a lot of sweets. So it's not like we are not under, I forgot what I wanted to say. I can't find the word. It's not like we are not influenced by our gut at all. It's all connected. So his gut was not working properly, but every 2 to 3 to 4 months he would have diarrhea that would last for a day or two, and vomiting. Now, why was this really, really, really strange? Not just because it was often, a couple of times a year, not just because no one would address it. All the normal tests that I ran on my own were not showing anything, but the smell and the texture and everything about that vomit and that diarrhea was very strange. So it smelled like hydrogen peroxide, and it looked like hydrogen peroxide. When you take a zip and then you do this and spit it out, it will be like foamy and white, and that's what it looked like. So his vomit and his poop was not normal vomit and poop. It looked like hydrogen peroxide, and smelled like it, and that was really strange. And I wish somebody told me to check a lot of things and to address the gut and the stomach issue before I did. But I started reading lots of papers. I started listening to lectures, so it was always in the background on audio. When he was 6, and it took us 4 years to repair the damage in his bioma. And I remember there was a video in the background, and I didn't even think of that video as important. It was just like, because I was listening to everything, when you're on YouTube and it goes, and when one video finishes, it goes in the direction the YouTube wants it. So the video was from a doctor from Russia, and he was in a space program. So he was the doctor for astronauts, I think. And he was talking about hydrogen peroxide and its healing abilities. So how can you use it to stay healthy and yada, yada, yada. But there was something that he mentioned that was really like, oh God, it got in here, that there are bacteria, or there is a bacteria in our small intestine that is really interlinked with our immune system, and it produces a chemical that is hydrogen peroxide in not in well, nutshell. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. So immunity, hydrogen peroxide, gut, or are in that sentence, and gut microbioma. So I found out about, we say SIBO, but I don't know how to say it in English. So it's going to be SIBO, small intestine bacterial overgrowth. And please let me know if you know what small intestine bacterial overgrowth is. Did you address it? Did anyone tell you about it? But how did you find out about it? Did you find out by being offered as a test from the specialist, or did you go like I did, Google Mom, and then figure out and did the test? So we did the test, and indeed there was a bacterial overgrowth in his small intestine. So we started changing his diet. Now, diet. I made a video that YouTube wouldn't let me play, so I don't know, maybe I'm completely wrong, I'm stupid, I'm a Google mom, but let's see. I have my own thesis on what the proper diet should look like for anyone, and if you want me to talk about that, please let me know in the comments. But we did that. We started changing his diet. It was very difficult, especially because the diet was already reduced to oh my god. So I had to offer him more and more, and it took us 4 years to change everything in his gut. So now he's pooping normally every day, and he doesn't vomit every 3 to 4 months, and he doesn't have diarrhea. But when we fixed it, the first thing that happened was he got chicken pox. And he was itchy for 2 weeks. It was somewhere before COVID hit. A little before the COVID hit. Maybe a year before that. And he got chicken pox. And after that, so he got fever, he got cough, he started getting sick. Now, normally that would be very bad, but because he was never sick before, and we did something, we changed his gut microbioma, the fact that he got sick was a sign that his immunity started to work normally, because it just wasn't, it's not normal not to ever get sick. That's not normal. That's not how DNA learns and how everything works. So after that, after he got sick for the first time, his cognitive ability skyrocketed, and he started developing functional speech. So now he can communicate. It's not a perfect. I'm gonna put the video so you're gonna hear it. It's not perfect. He has problems pronouncing words. He mixes English and Serbian, because if the word is easier in English, or if it's stuck in English, he's gonna use it in English. If it's in Serbian, then he's gonna use it in Serbian. But it's functional language. And that all happened after we discovered small intestine bacterial overgrowth and addressed it. And now I can send him shopping. So I would like to know, has anyone done the same? Did anyone do the same? Do you recognize the symptom? Is your child never sick and has vomiting and how it smells. So I want to know your experience, and I want to know what the experts have to say about this, because my thesis is that we have something that's called DNA memory, and we should be feeding ourselves like our ancestors did for, or approximately, at least. So the closest we can get to eating the same food our ancestors did for 14 generations behind us. And how did I get to that? Well, I read epigenetics, and there's a video that I made about my thesis on everything that I'm gonna put in the description box. So I want to know, for the last 15 years, 16 years is my son old, and 15 years are we in this, I do not see any changes. I see only the things and therapies popping up, and then just they're fading out. I read about the fecal transplant, and that many people had success, let's say, with fecal transplant, but I also read about the dangers of fecal transplant. And you know, there are things that pop, like breakthrough, you know, like the mitochondrial function and fecal transplant, and so there are things that pop out and then they just fade out. Like, nobody is anyone dealing with this. Why aren't things changing? Why are we still looking at autism like it's just neurodevelopmental problem, when we have 95% of children with a gut problem that are on the spectrum? And I want to know your experiences. I don't want to sell you anything. I just want answers, and I just want truth. And that's why I'm doing this, because I need someone to discuss this with. I did something, and I did something on my own, and I'm not proud of it. I'm scared because of that. I really am. Maybe someone who knows more would do even more with my son, but no one told me about it. I had to dig and read and discover by myself, and I don't think that's okay. I don't think that's a proper care for patients. So that's why I'm doing this. I need answers. I have a question for you.
What?
What do you like to eat?
Plaskowitz?
That's good. Hamburger. Are you happy?